All right, everybody. So today's question on Reddit is that somebody mentioned that they're afraid of doing headstands or handstands, and they're looking for recommendations on what to do because whenever they go upside down, they get really scared. And going upside down is scary if you've never spent any time doing that. Now, for me, the difference between a headstand and a handstand is your handstands are balancing on your hands, and a headstand you are balancing on the head. So if we look at just a standard headstand, maybe with the one where you have your hands like this and your head is between here, I actually find that to be a lot more difficult than a tripod headstand or a regular handstand. Regardless, whatever type of headstand you're trying to do, you are balancing weight in your head, which is connected to your neck, and then the rest of the body. So the neck needs to be strong. You also need to be able to stack weight on a small point on top of the head, even though the arms are here by your side, creating a slightly wider base, in my opinion, because everything is so condensed into this little triangle area, it actually will wobble a lot more than if you were doing a tripod headstand where the hands are a little bit wider and you're making a bigger triangle which covers more surface area than this one right here. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the tripod headstand and some handstand stuff. Okay, so if you're looking to get into basic inversion, okay, for a tripod headstand, you're basically going to set up here nice and close where your knees are squeezing together. You're going to take your thumbs and put them right under your knees, and you want the hands to be about shoulder width apart, and then you're going to bow forward. It's almost like you're doing a really tight child's pose, and then you'll tuck your chin in just a little bit. Not a lot, so that the head is right in front of the knees, because when you go up, it's going to be too tight and too close to the hands. So what you want to do is just bring your head to the ground, tuck the chin a teeny bit, and then roll some of the weight forward onto the top of the head. And notice how I have a 90-degree bend in my elbows, okay? This is less than 90, this is more than 90, this is 90 right here, okay? This is what we call home base in acro yoga. From here, you're basically upside down, right? The head is here, we have the weights planted, and then from here you can tuck your toes if you really want to, and you can start to extend the weight and start to feel the sensation of weight in the head. Okay, here I am. It doesn't feel great, but it doesn't hurt, and it gets a little bit easier as time goes by. If you're starting to feel like, oh, okay, I think I could manage, right? We haven't even left the ground, but this is a very nice baby step to starting to invert. Maybe we're getting here. Most people have really tight hamstrings, so straightening the legs and getting into this position is actually really difficult for them, and that's okay. So maybe you're here. Maybe you want to bring one knee here, and then you'll bring the other one right over, and now we have a little baby step. And it's very safe because a lot of the weight is on the front side of my body, and if I slip or anything, I roll back this way. What is scary is creating too much energy that goes beyond the shoulders, pulling you the opposite way. That is death. You never want to go there. I'm just kidding. It's just not going to end very well. Okay? So maybe you're here. You come down, you're like, oh, this is starting to work. Once again, you tuck your chin, you roll to the top of the head, you extend the legs, you're like, this is working. Maybe you can get a knee here and a knee here. So now we're in a basic tripod headstand in a little tucking position. Okay, think about squeezing the elbows together, the hands are pushing, and notice if I push my hands, my body goes back. So you never want to push too much, but if you don't push at all, you end up come crashing back down here. So you need to find a happy balance between that and stacking weight on the head and pushing back. Maybe this starts to get a little bit better, and then what you need to do in order to get the hips over your shoulders is start to neutralize the spine, or think about, maybe you're going to tuck right here and float first, and then you need to tilt the pelvis enough to neutralize the spine to get everything stacked. Squeeze the elbows together, and here you are starting to balance in a little float. All of the weight is still over here, which makes it easy to come back out to the feet. And then in time, that gets a little more vertical, okay? If you're starting out with a basic handstand and you're afraid to go upside down, or you feel like your arms might be too weak and that they're gonna collapse, then you're gonna wanna do an L handstand against the wall, okay? You're not going to be able to see the side profile because I'm looking at you. Yes, but you would start in a tabletop position to start right here, shoulders under the hands under the shoulders, and the feet are touching the wall, and then extend your legs up. Okay, so it's kind of like I'm in a very tight, crappy down dog. And from here, I'm going to push towards the wall with the hands as I walk a foot up, and then maybe I'm here. Right now, my shoulders are behind the hands. I want to try and get the shoulders stacked over the hands. So it's kind of like I'm doing a push-up with my feet on the wall. Maybe this gets a little bit better. You can walk your hands up a little bit further and see how long you can hold. or if we're trying to get into something that represents a handstand, we go for the L handstand, where you get the feet on the floor, feet on the wall, and as you start to extend the legs, it pushes the shoulders forward. Now my shoulders are stacking over the hands, but I need to think about pushing my chest through the shoulders so everything is really stacked so I can push away. L handstands suck, but we always teach them because they're a good precursor to starting your inversion and handstand balancing, okay? So that's just taught very quickly without going into a ton of cueing, but if you can get your hands in a tabletop position and slowly start to work your feet up the wall, the arms will get stronger and you'll start pushing away as a triangle, and then the feet get a little higher and the feet get a little higher, and eventually feet start to push away, which then pushes the shoulders forward, and then you want to push the chest through the shoulders so you get this really nice L shape, okay? That takes time, and if you're tight, sometimes it's hard to actively push your chest through the shoulders. It all takes time, right? Okay, hopefully that helped. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. I'm Macro Brandon.